Ni hao to y'all, we're here in Chinatown today, and as you can see, business is back in action.
We're pumped that we can finally eat outside from some of our favorite spots in Chinatown. Chinatown NYC actually did this pro bono, creating all this outdoor dining space thanks to sponsors like Amex, Resi, and Moe Hennessy.
So there's a lot of different safety precautions being taken out here. All the tables are out here in the open air, and then they're spaced far apart. And when you're walking around, you gotta have your mask on until you actually sit down at a table. There's hand sanitizer everywhere, napkins, so you're good to go.
Please be sure to order some takeout or even do the outdoor dining space if you guys feel comfortable, and help support Chinatown.
We're gonna hit up 3 of our favorite spots. Check them out. What's up, y'all? So we're at our first spot, which is Ping's. It's an institution here in Chinatown. As you can see on the wall when you go inside, the owner has posed with tons and tons of Chinese celebrities, including Jay Chou, Eric Sang. Lots of different people have been through here, and it's famous for the dim sum. So that's what we're here to get today. So on the weekends, a lot of families, specifically Canto families, will come down to Chinatown to yum cha, which means to drink tea. But really what you're doing is coming here to eat dim sum. So in Cantonese, dim sum means a touch of heart, which is represented by the tapas-style dishes, just really small dishes with 2 or 3 pieces that everyone can share. And it's a really nice tradition to just wrap up your week and see people that you love. So that's what we're gonna start with, a little bit of dim sum so we don't kill our appetite for the next few spots. Cheers. All right, so as y'all can see, we got some of the greatest hits of dim sum. We got Har Gow, Siu Mai, crispy egg roll, we got Chao Zhou Fun Guo, and we got a little some extra on the side.
Garlic chicken.
That's right.
This is our favorite chicken ever. It's so good every single time. We got these giant slices of fried garlic and this crispy skin, but the chicken itself is so juicy.
Dude, all right, so let's dig in, y'all.
So we have the crispy Cantonese style spring rolls. These are much thinner than your traditional egg roll. We have Siu Mai, which is basically pork in a wonton wrapper, topped with shrimp, mushroom, and then some roe on top. So good. And then some Har Gow, which is basically a steamed shrimp in this like very crystal dumpling wrapper. It's really hard to pleat, so I appreciate how beautiful these pleats are.
All right, so moving on to one that's a little bit more rare to find, but Ping's got it, is Chao Zhou Fun Guo, which is a lot of vegetables and chopped up meat. Sometimes you got peanuts in there, wrapped inside a chewy dough wrapper. Really interesting mix of textures there. And then one of my personal favorite, we got some black bean spare ribs down here, chopped into small bites, easy for sharing, bite-sized. And then finally, we got Cheng. So this is Cheung Fun, which is just something wrapped inside of a rice noodle and steamed. So we got the one with beef, and it's a really chewy texture, very unique, and it's covered in sweet soy sauce.
So good.
When you gotta eat dim sum at 12, but play beer pong at 1.
I love that they're serving water in solo cups.
And all the drinks, I think it's just for safety because it's outside. You can't be giving people glass and everything.
True.
So that's another safety precaution for this outside dining. If you come for dim sum, my personal recommendation would be to get the spare ribs, and then if they have it, the Chao Zhou Fun Guo. But if not, probably the Cheung Fun is something really unique and different to try.
I think their spring rolls are also really good. Like super like thin, like but very crispy, and then like the inside is like perfect. Like, it's hard to find the perfect spring roll.
Whew, wash the meal down with the tinto.
We actually finished everything. I'm impressed.
Yeah, the nice thing about dim sum is everything is really small portions, so you get to sample a lot of different things, but you don't get too full. So going to our next stop, we're not going to be too stuffed to try things out.
So on to Noodle Village.
Ooh. On to our second spot, Noodle Village.
For some wonton noodle soup and Xiao Long Bao.
So Noodle Village is a traditional Cantonese cafe style. So in Hong Kong, you know, people will like eat their lunch on the run a lot. So you'll have noodles, you have little snacks like soy sauce, egg, some vegetables, anything you need for a quick power lunch, and go. Xiao Long Bao.
Also known as soup dumplings. So basically they make this by taking a soup cube or like a gelatin and putting it inside the wrapper before, and then they steam it. So you have this beautiful soup dumpling without leaking outside of the dumpling wrapper. So there are 2 ways to eat Xiao Long Bao. You can do the safe way, which is dipping it in the vinegar. Vent at the top.
Lets the heat out. Cool it down. Or you could do it Asian dad style with no regard for how hot it is or any kind of pain in your mouth. Where you're just fresh, dip it. Go right in there. Worry about the heat later. And then next, we got the wonton noodle soup. So this is a really popular lunch dish in Hong Kong, and it's got a little bit of everything. So you got the egg noodle in here, you got shrimp dumplings, and then we got this really umami broth, which they make add the flavor with little shrimpies. It's like dried preserved shrimp, and that's really popular to use in Cantonese. So when you come down here, you're gonna get a really authentic dish.
I love that they're not afraid to use funky seafood flavors.
So we just wrapped up our meal here at Noodle Village.
The dishes will run you about $6 to $12. This total was $16, so very
good deal.
Yeah, very good deal.
Can't come to Chinatown without looking for a bargain.
So on to dessert.
So we're at our third and final stop of the day, Sweethouse, for a little bit of dessert to wrap up. A little something sweet to end the day on.
This looks super refreshing.
This is like watermelon juice with sago and then fresh fruit.
And look, honeydew, cantaloupe. Like this is as healthy as you can get.
Maybe some lychee jelly on top.
And then
what is this?
We have mango juice with coconut milk, mango chunks, grapefruit, sago, and mango shaved ice. So good.
So what we like about these Asian style desserts is they're not overly sweet. They don't rely on too much sugar, just a lot of natural flavors from like fresh fruit, sago, you know, you got coconut milk
mango,
over here.
Yeah, it's a really refreshing end to our Chinatown crawl.
Perfect for a hot day. Let's dig in. Yeah, refreshing.
So this you have the shaved ice, which is really nice, but really the sago pearls, which are a little like chewy and kind of bouncy, plus the mango, the mango chunks. It's like the perfect dessert. It's like fun. It's kind of like teeny tiny like tapioca balls, but not as chewy.
So with this dish, it's think of it almost as like a sweet gazpacho. You've got the pulp from the lychee jelly and the watermelon mixed in to give it like a thick soup-like consistency. But then you got like the sago in here, and then the fresh fruit that gives it a bright chewiness to everything. It's amazing. Woo! So we just wrapped up our food tour. We hit up a few different spots. We showed you some dim sum, Hong Kong cafe style, and then finally an Asian style dessert place.
Feeling refreshed after our dessert, feeling good, but thanks for watching, and if you can, make sure to come out to Chinatown, pick up takeout, or eat outside, tip generously if you can, and help support Chinatown.
Follow, like, subscribe!